The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
A man who is delighted of his legacy, who takes pride in the tradition and trust that his family has earned in the kingdom, who believes in the big picture perspective, Ahmed Abdullah bin Hindi. The Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Director of the A. bin Hindi Group of Companies, Mr. bin Hindi has to his credit of over 31 years of executive experience of leadership and management, with accomplished career track for delivering and sustaining revenue and profit gains within highly competitive markets. An alumnus of the Schiller International University in the UK, the senior management member of the esteemed family business that dates back to 1965, started his career in 1989 as the executive director and currently heads the group as its vice chairman, besides serving as a board member of the group companies and its subsidiaries, representing many reputed international brands, which includes light vehicles and heavy vehicles, IT and telecommunications, real estate, car rental and leasing, security and waste management, marketing and outdoor media, journalism, publishing and distribution, among others. A board member of the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. bin Hindi is also the chairman of Bahrain Businessmen Association, board member at the Dar al-Bilad Journalism, Publishing and Distribution, and member of the Young Presidents Organization Bahrain chapter. A sportsman himself, Mr. bin Hindi is the Vice Chairman of Bahrain Association Sports for All, board member and treasurer Asian Association Sports for All. Formerly, he was also the chairman of the Bahrain Telecommunication Users Association, board member of the Bahrain Airport Company, and headed committees on the board of the appointed Capital Municipal Council. On the latest addition to the sovereign pragmatic Bahraini man's list of titles is the Labour Market Regulatory Authority, to which he has been appointed a board member. Taking us through his journey of business success, reminiscing memories of his budding years, and sharing his views and goals of the future, Ahmed Abdullah bin Hindi joining us on Biztalk this week from BMC Global Live. A name that has become a synonym of quality. From the phones that you use, the cars that you drive, and the homes that you live in and beyond. A family business in Bahrain standing tall over 5 decades, and a man at the helm of affairs. Joining us this week on Biztalk is the Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Director of A. Bin Hindi Group, Ahmed Abdullah Bin Hindi. Welcome, Mr. Bin Hindi, to Biztalk from BMC Global Life.
My pleasure.
Indeed, it's an honor and pleasure to have an esteemed personality like you with us this evening.
My pleasure too.
So this is a show which brings to people success stories of business leaders. And that's what brings you here. And as I said in the beginning, A. Bin Hindi Group has a name in the country which is standing tall, right from humble beginnings, as we know. As every other family business for that matter in Bahrain, from humble beginnings you've grown up into such a reputed, with a matchless reputation, you stand there. And let me go into my very first question. You come with a legacy that is spanning over decades, and the company's foundation laid by a great person like your father, Mr. Abdullah Bin Hindi. How do you think such base or such foundations are important for businesses, especially when we have a lot of entrepreneurs coming up these days, young businesses, new businesses?
Yes.
What is your opinion about the need for such foundation? Do you really think that makes a big difference?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I'm lucky to be through this journey with my father. My father was, and from the beginning when I was in the school, in the summer holidays, he forced me to go to the office, to the work in the morning, and then the afternoon is for me to go and play with my friends, football or whatever. But that time, every summer, like 2 months, 2.5 months, I go every day with my father in the morning, and we work. I start working and listening and understanding what the business is going on. At that time, it was, into tires and batteries and spare parts, automotive spare parts. And it was really for me an experience to learn how to control the stock, how to receive the stock, because when there is a consignment, I start even taking the tires with them, with the labor to carry the tires to the stores, putting them in the right place, knowing which size it is, the truck size. Of course, the truck size, my father doesn't allow me to carry. It's too heavy.
Too heavy, yeah.
But then only the small tires I was carrying. But then it was just a kind of a participation for me to grab all this information and the way how the products has been handled. This was really for me as a school. And also the other main part of it was making my relations to the business stronger. Many, from my age or even after, they didn't get this opportunity. So for them, there is no relation with their father's business or family business. Bahrain is mainly family businesses.
Family businesses, yes.
But then in the end, they end up with doing their own business. And their father is having his own business. There is no relation with his children. And that's what my father made sure that our relations to the business is there. And, after that, I went to the university. I went to UK. I studied business administration after I finished my school. And after that, I came back and I joined the company in 1988. I graduated in 88. Immediately, I didn't take any break. I joined the company. I came, January 1st, I was on the business, on the work.
Okay.
From there also, it's on a different journey. Then it was a full-time. And at that time, between the time I was there going in the summer and going full-time, then my father, expanded in the trading business as well, and also expanded in the construction business. But while I'm in the university, the construction business in Bahrain was, there is a slowdown in the business. So my father decided not to go for any more projects and focus more on the trade.
Okay.
Then, of course, it was a different field for me, and we started. But then the background already I have. When my father, the background we have, and we didn't go away from what we were doing. It all related to automotive.
Okay.
Then, in the business, I started with my father since 1989, January, until now. It's more than 32, 30 something.
That's a great word years. Which you used there. You called it a school.
Yes.
I think family businesses offer you that background or that base. Well, with all due respects to entrepreneurs or new startups, family businesses has its own legacy, and as you rightly said, you get to learn a lot.
Yes.
Because it's your own, and I think every person I've interacted with have given me similar stories of how they are involved into the daily activities.
That's right.
That's interesting that you said you got to know the truck tire size and all that.
Yes, and even for me, after that, when I came with my father, the relation started even more because I'm getting responsibilities, and I'm like, even going, I don't know anything about construction at that time. I went to site meetings. I go and meet the consultants. I meet the contractors. I meet the subcontractors. So these also build up my relations with the people. Bahrain is really small, but you need to have this kind of relations because then you can grow your business with this relation. If you're just sitting in the office and you don't have any relationship with the outside world, in Bahrain, it will be even harder for you to continue your business. Right. That was for me also an advantage.
Great. Those who joined us on Biztalk this evening, we have with us Ahmed bin Hindi, the Vice Chairman of AA bin Hindi Group. Welcome back to Biztalk from BMC Global Live with Ahmed bin Hindi, Vice Chairman of AA bin Hindi Group. Mr. bin Hindi, thank you for taking us in detail to that governance style in your family business, which definitely talks of why you are successful. Let's take it into a lighter note from all the corporate governance and business scenario.
Sure.
You are also a sportsman, if I'm not mistaken, or you were rather. And you were heading at least a couple of associations, board members of the...
Yeah, lately I'm vice chairman for the Sports for All Association.
Yeah. So tell us something about your sports facet, because people know you as a businessman, and hearing all this we know like how much you are deep nose dived into the business. Tell us about your sports interests.
My life is not different than the other. When I was in the age of can play football.
So football is your favorite sport?
Yes, football is the main sport for us, for me, and most of the friends in Bahrain. It's number one game in Bahrain. But then I was like every afternoon nearly I'm playing in Muharraq.
Okay.
where I've been living there until 1980 or 1979.
Okay.
Then we have shifted to Manama to be closer to our office.
Office, yeah.
Again, there also I've known friends on all our age. Also, we started playing football like every day, even in Ramadan in the afternoon.
Okay.
Before breakfast, we go and play football. Yeah, that was really active time for me.
Okay.
Then also, we had a farm in Malchia. We have done a big playground, and we play like 8-a-side. And like we play 3 times a day, 3 times a week. And every time we play, there is a football match. And it's a real football match.
Okay.
Like sometimes we play against clubs. Sometimes we play against the custom directorate or any or the passport directorate. Everybody has team.
A team, yeah.
And it was really fun until the time 2006. I had injury. It was a very bad injury.
Oh, okay.
It was a cross ligament torn, and I have to make an operation. Since that time, the doctor told me, you want to live and walk and enjoy your life, or you want to go back to football. I said, which you can do. He said, no, you can't go back and play and put stress on that knee. Then I stopped, of course. I just was playing very light games or swimming sometimes. But mainly I walk. Whenever I have the opportunity, I go out and walk, especially when I'm traveling in Europe or anywhere. I just go and walk like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. I enjoy walking because that keeps you moving and keep you, at least fit, but not as active as before. Then also I follow a lot of football matches, a lot of local teams and international teams such as Europe, European, the League of UK, League of Spain.
Right. Okay.
I spend my time that way.
Right. Is there anything else that you spend your free time with? What are your other passions and hobbies?
Maybe recently I started, to increase my trips for fishing.
Okay.
I go a little bit fishing. Of course, now it's winter, so I just stop because of the winter. But mainly I go fishing, or I go with leisure with my family to a sea trip. With my children, I spend the weekend always with my family. I don't go anywhere else.
On that note, let's also hear about your family. Of course, you said you're a grandfather, which was news to me.
Yes.
But tell us more about your immediate family. You told me you have 5 brothers and 1 sister, right?
Yes.
And what about your immediate family? Your wife, how many children do you have?
I have 4 boys.
Okay.
Yes.
All
and Abdullah is now working. He's working with us in the morning, and then in the afternoon he has a company where he's a partner with his cousin. They are having the architecture studio. Their company called Shepherd. And the second one, Isa, he's gonna graduate maybe in April. In June he will be graduated from university, also architecture. So then he will come and see whether he will join us, or maybe he will go for training for another 1 or 2 years. Because this is one of the conditions we put in the corporate governance, that you have to work for 2 to 3 years outside, and then you join.
Okay.
Yeah. You just remember that. Then the age also, he's into business administration. So he needs another 1 year to graduate. And then I have 8-year-old boy, Nasser.
Okay.
He's in the school.
Okay.
So the 4 boys, everyone has his own personality. Abdullah got married in 2018. And just 1 month ago, he got a boy.
Okay, so you're a new grandfather.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, okay. What is the grandchild's name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
On my name.
Okay, on your name. All right, okay.
Yeah, he is.
Right. So, yeah, it's a whole lot of boys at home, right?
All boys.
Okay.
Even my brother, the second brother, he has 3 boys.
Okay.
The third brother, he has 2 boys and one girl.
I think so.
Only
Salva
that's
should be
good.
very important. Isn't
Yeah,
it? Salva, your sister,
My sister,
should
yes.
be the princess because
Yes.
she's one among
Yes.
all these boys.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Is she also part of the Bin Hindi group?
She's a partner, yes.
Okay.
And she's board member also. She attends all the board meetings. That we made sure that she has to be in the board meeting to know what's going on.
Right. So you are heading different groups in the company, various sectors. Of course, all children are the same. But which sector is close to your heart?
For me, mainly the automotive.
Okay. Okay.
I love it. I have a passion in automotive since long time. And then also, I was always interested to look into the food business, for example, mainly in restaurants and coffee shops.
Right.
And I had the, the intention to start something long time ago, but I didn't have the opportunity because we were too busy in the automotive. Recently, we started Bin Hindi Foods. I think in 2018, early 18 or end of 17, we started Bin Hindi Foods. And we have secured 2 franchises. One is Anab from Beirut, from Lebanon, with the Lebanese cuisine, of course. And the other one is Lord of the Wing, which they give like burgers and chicken wings.
Okay.
And we started the business in Bahrain 2000. Unfortunately, we started in this year.
Okay.
We started just 15 days for Anab, and then we got the corona. Then government we have to close. And we started again. We reopened in September when they started giving the go-ahead, the green light for the restaurant to start back again. Of course, with a lot of safety measures. Again, you're in this time, the business, not only my restaurant, most of the restaurants, they work maybe on break even or less than break even because you are not using the full capacity of the restaurant.
Correct.
So this sector is now, until now, it is suffering.
Yeah.
It's improving month on month, better. It's getting better, like 20% or 10%.
It would be nice if we could go a little deeper into that subject. Of course, you being a businessman, you would know the pulse of how COVID or Corona has impacted the business segment. And I wanted to ask you about the food segment, but I think across any sector has been affected, isn't it? And how do you see post-COVID days?
Most of the sectors, all the sectors, if not all, the business were down, and it varies between 30% and 60%. Business is down, which is a lot, because Bahrain is a small market, and the margins are not that big because you don't have the volume. So to achieve your break even is very tough, nearly impossible when the Corona was here. People are at home, no business. Like the other showrooms other than the restaurant. I think they're closed for nearly 8 months.
8 months now, yeah.
The other businesses were closed for 1 month, 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks. So you say 2 months, 1 month, or nearly 2 months, because that 2 weeks just for the consumer to go and get his important necessities.
Yeah, actual business was not running.
The business, because most of the staff, like for example, what we took in measures, most of the staff we put on leave without pay, or we told them that, sit at home, give me 50% of your time and I will pay you 50% of your salary.
Right.
Otherwise, you can go back. So that's the 3 choices we had to do.
How hopeful are you for 2021?
Well, I think not very hopeful, because 2021 still the impact of the corona is still going on. Maybe you see now Europe. I just heard today that Germany also is going to close their borders because they have from UK some cases. UK, they're closed everything, even the airspace. So I hope, Bahrain, we're going in the right track, in the right way. We are very careful. We have a lot of strong measures to take care of Corona, but still, it is in the hand of the people. They have to obey and have to listen to the instructions. They don't have to ignore. What happened in Europe because they have ignored.
The recklessness, yes.
Yes,
indeed, yeah.
yes. I remember maybe when the corona started, and I don't want to mention which country, but one of the European countries, they went for demonstration.
Yeah.
They don't want to use the mask.
Yeah.
And they don't want to have the restaurants closed, and they don't want the social distance. So this is the mentality. And Bahrain, alhamdulillah, we are very much advanced, and everybody in the whole world are appreciating what Bahrain government have took.
Indeed, indeed.
And we are as people also very happy. We feel secured.
Yes, I think all
For me-
measures are in place. But
For me, like everyone is telling me, are you going to have to travel or going business or leisure? I said, no, I will stay in my country. I feel the safest is in my country.
I think that's the right attitude, and as you rightly said, it's with us. The responsibility, I think, heavily lies with the public than the measures in place. You can only put measures in place, but unless we take the responsibility or own it as ours, I think the year ahead will also be tough.
Yeah, the area which I want to mention, like for example, in the new year, there was a lot of restaurants haven't followed the rules. We did, because you see, if you don't want to follow the rules, okay, you can make a couple of dinars extra, but then you will be fined and closed. So
You're
no,
going to be spending double,
we said no, we have to follow the rules, because even we had overbooking, and we have refused these bookings. We have rejected it.
Right.
To keep the rules and to keep the distances and to keep the people safe.
Right. And that was one beautiful safety tip from businessman Ahmed bin Hindi from A Bin Hindi Group, Vice Chairman. Mr. Bin Hindi, as we continue and enter into the last segment of Biztalk from BMC Global Life, I would like to touch upon your other hats. You've been on the board of the BCCI, the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and of course, and even other associations, quite a few on your list. How do you place yourself in these different committees? And of course, you are part of the Capital Trustees Board, which is an appointed council. You were the
Used
former.
to be, yes.
Yeah. So can you just take us through your responsibilities there? And one question would be like, BCCI is a representative body for the private sector, decision makers. At the same time, you're on the other side, the businessman. How do you maintain the balance?
Well, as we start like from the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce, as you said, it is the main representative of the private sector. Their role is totally different when you compare them to the Association of Businessmen, Bahrain Businessmen Association. Bahrain Businessmen Association is more focused, and it's a niche members who are interested to give their opinion and give their experience to the others. Plus to look at the area where we can participate and improve wherever it requires in the private sector. The Chamber of Commerce, no, it is more into the details. It's more into going and interacting with the people, with the private sectors, the commercial registration owners. It's different role. It's a bigger role for the Chamber of Commerce, but I think we complete each other, and we complement each other. This is from one part. For the other part, which was the municipal council, the capital, it was a different experience for me. We used to.
That was more common man perspective, isn't it?
Yes.
People
Actually, we used to do the cleaning project for.
Manama?
63% of Bahrain. We used to do for south, middle, and north area with the Malaysian company, and that was about 6 years, nearly 6 years. That project, it's finished, but I learned a lot from that. When I went to the municipal council, for me it was an add-on experience, which I also participate with my experience, with how I face things, problems or solutions, or the way how to clean, or the way how to recycle. It was for me, I have already, because I've attended many exhibitions and shows, I know the products, what products can do this, what product can do that, solutions. So I was also adding to the council. And the other side also, I have learned more on the legislation, on the laws, on the financial, because I was the chairman of the financial committee, the finance and legal committee. So they were sending us many legal issues which to review, to give our comments and give our recommendations. Same thing with the finance, we review the budgets. So I understand how the ministry is working, how the budget has been allocated. It was an experience for me. So it was an exchange of experience in that field.
Right.
As I told you, the others, I
think you are also a member of the YPO.
Yeah, the YPO is just a social. It's an international organization. All the CEOs are members. I think there are more than 20 or 22,000 members around the world. So we have access on those CEOs, and also the CEOs, they have access on us. We interact, we meet once a year, but of course with the corona, they didn't do it. They make a global event, and the attendance is like between 2,000 and 4,000 attendance. It's a large one. So you go and interact and meet and try to develop, make some partnerships, understand, you've been introduced to someone, or you introduce someone to others. It's a good communication organization. And we learn a lot. They do a lot of seminars, they do a lot of conferences, they bring speakers from all over the world, and as an organization, they have speakers in the portal. You just pick and choose which speaker you want and bring him to Bahrain, give a speech. Sometimes we share the speakers with other neighboring countries, like the speaker goes around. So that's a lot of, it's very nice. I get a lot of information from this organization.
Great. Last but not the least, I think the latest addition to your titles is you're on the board of the Labor Market Regulatory Authority of Bahrain, LMRA.
Yes.
And I think LMRA is very crucial for the expats, and Bahrain having such a large expat community. What is your view about the future and any vision? Because you've always been, from what I heard till now, you're very focused, you're clear about things, the way forward. Even at the BCCI you did, within the family you did. What about LMRA? What do you think?
LMRA, of course, since the government established LMRA, it was like an agreement between the private sector and the public sector to regulate the market, the labor market. And most of the things the LMRA have done, it was very good, and it was, in the benefit of the private sector.
Yes.
And also the other countries, neighbor countries, they are learning from this experience. We are exporting this experience to other countries. There are challenges always, and it's very, very difficult to balance between the labor and the private sector and the government.
Yes.
It's very difficult to balance. So I think LMRA is trying their best to make that balance and make it fair for all, because also the laborers, they have a lot of pressure from outside, outside of Bahrain, the human rights and others, and also the private sector here is with limited, market, limited, resources of labor. Local labor. So there is a challenge how to make the local labor interested, which the Bahrainis, into that business. And avoid bringing, labor from outside. So also this is also a big challenge, and how to, also work in the middle, which you satisfy the private sector and provide them the labor. For example, now with Corona, many contractors couldn't deliver their projects because of labor, because many labor have left the country. Either they are afraid, or the contractors want to reduce labor, they have sent them back. Now when you give the contractor a new project, they don't have labor. They are looking in Bahrain, there is nothing. Like, can I give you an example? Again, going to the restaurant, we wanted to have like someone who have a small hobby of music to entertain our
Yes.
guests. We couldn't find because all of them left Bahrain.
Okay.
Now we're waiting for people to come back.
Yeah. Of course, we saw an exodus in the beginning because
Yes.
people were really scared.
Yes.
Now I think everybody gotten used to it.
Yeah, it will come back. I mean, within the next 6 months, I believe like 40-50% of the life will go back to normal.
Right.
Once the vaccination, I think today we've reached more than 140,000.
140,000, exactly.
So the vaccination will make a difference.
It will. And one thing that we must highlight is like how the world took to virtual platforms.
Correct.
One such example is BMC
Correct.
Global Live. What's your opinion about virtual platforms like the BMC?
Those are now the trend, not in Bahrain, in the whole world, especially at the corona pandemic time. The people are not leaving home. They are sitting at home, and everything now is online, whether Zoom or Teams or Google. They are using these kind of platforms to be connected, because human nature is to be connected. You cannot go and sit in a separate island, and you cannot live. Even if you say, I want to go and sit in an island alone, you cannot. You will be crazy.
Right.
So these kind of platforms are important, and it is more even you can go cover a bigger number of viewers in a very short span, or very short time. So there's a lot of advantages. The TV has its own viewers, and it's totally different.
Yes.
It's a different technology, different clientele, and these platforms are different. Bahrain, we have shortage. We need some more of them.
Okay.
Like I can see like a lot of like especially the ladies, they have the band online, and I see the number of viewers are 200,000, 400,000 for the good bands. Like for example, in the middle of the pandemic, Rashid Al Majid and others, they made some concert through NBC. The viewers were crazy, nearly 1 million. The viewers.
Yes.
You cannot even do it when you are on TV.
Correct.
Yeah. So I encourage you to do this kind of coverage.
Yeah.
I really would like to see some more of your activities, more channels covering different subjects. Here in Bahrain, we have also a big shortage to cover the private sector.
Yeah, okay.
What are the activities of the private sector? Like, we call it economic channel. You cover the economy. Being Bahrain the financial hub, being Bahrain now as an ICT hub, and so on. These needs to be covered in that area. Yes. I see there is a lot of gap in this space, in this sector. Bahrain TV and others, they try to do economical channel, special channel for this sector, but maybe, I don't know, maybe some reasons they couldn't do it. But you have the chance to do it.
Right. That was very encouraging, and we are indeed thankful to you for that wonderful note and this beautiful evening. It was a great conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
A man who focuses on quality with no compromise, a visionary who follows the footsteps of a visionary father, Ahmed bin Hindi, the Vice Chairman of AA bin Hindi Group. That was Mr. bin Hindi with us this evening on Biztalk. Thank you very much, Mr. bin Hindi, for joining us. It was indeed a pleasure. Your closing remarks, please.
Well, thank you for having me. It is my pleasure to share my experience, my thought, and really you had covered most of the areas. Very good questions. I congratulate you for that. And looking forward to a bright future for Bahrain, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that was Ahmed bin Hindi, Vice Chairman of AA bin Hindi Group on Biztalk. And until we meet with another success story on another episode of Biztalk, this is Raji Krishnan signing off. Good night. the chairman of BMC Global Live, Mr. Francis Kaidaratha, to hand over a memento to Mr. Ben Hindi. Mr. Francis, please.